Good day, my people, my friend, my colleague. I want to thank you for another opportunity to learn together, because in this industry, you can never overlearn. You can only underlearn. So we continue to learn new things every day, because we remain to be a student in this market. So as you are trading, you are always a student. You can never graduate from this particular market. So I want to discuss little things with us, particularly the new babies in Forex. So I'll be sharing my screen now. If not been shared now, I think my screen is already shared. Before you place a trade, you have to look at some fundamentals, some things that you should look at for before you place a trade, and particularly those that are using trading view for their analysis. Now, as you can see from trading view, there are some icons that are showing on the dashboard that you need to take note of, like all this denotes something, and we call them major events. All these are the note of major something. You can see as I click on that, the first one, you can see that it has latest update, that is stock gain US yield fall after retail sales data. So you can see that this happened 3 minutes ago, this 1 hour ago, this 1 hour ago. So all these are what we call fundamental analysis. So they are very important in trading, that as a trader you have to know how to deal with all this fundamental analysis. So you can see the minds of the trader, so you can see what they were going to say concerning any major news. You can see another news here. This is coming from another country. That's balance of trade from a particular country. This event is going to happen tomorrow. This is a Japanese news. So let's go to, I'm going to share something with you from what we call Forex Factory. So Forex Factory, let me go back to the main board of this site. So forexfactory.com. So when you click on it, so it's a place that you can easily check the major events that may likely happen at a particular time. So you can see the dashboard of this particular site. We have forum, trader, news, calendar, market and broker, and so on and so forth. So you can see all the major events that's going to happen and the news that is going to come up. Today is Tuesday. This is the time that we are here currently. I'm doing this drill from Nigeria, so we are currently on 4 after 4. It's 26 minutes after 4. So these are major events that we are expecting. Today is Tuesday. This has already occurred 2 a.m. this morning. So cash rate, so this actual, this forecast, this previous. So when you have major events like this that shows red, so it shows that the event is going to have high impact in the forex market. So you can see that it has major events here. These are major event. Another major event here from US currency. We have retail score, core retail sales. So you can see the result of the news. This is the forecast that is going to be 0.2. The previous one is minus 0.1%. and the news actually come out, there was no significant change in the market. So the change in total value of sales at the retail level, so the usual effect, that's usual effect greater than forecast, and this is good for the currency. The news released about 16 days after the month end, so this what we may likely see in this particular site. So let me go to calendar so that we can shuffle around the news that may likely come up. So let me go to calendar. This is the calendar for the whole week. This denotes all the events that is going to happen this particular week. This connotes them. So those events that we are expecting to happen this week, these are events that may likely occur this week. You can see that we have on Sunday, there's a news from New Zealand currency. This is the news. So when you click on this place, you're going to see if the news have any impact. So I'm clicking it now. So after clicking on it now, this is what's happened on this particular news. So this was released from Business NZ. So level of diffusion index based on the surveyed purchasing manager in service industry. So if the actual is greater than forecast, that is good for the currency. If otherwise, that means it's against the currency pair. So as a trader, you have to take note of all these major happenings that is happening. So let's check for today, which is Tuesday on the 18th of June. So this retail score news that came up 1:30 p.m. from US pair. So you can see that the news come out in negative form. So this news was in negative. So let's go and check our trading view to see what happened to US based currency at this particular time, 1:30 p.m. today. So we'll go to the trading view. Let's see what happened here. Today is Tuesday. It's already on 1 hour, so 1:30 p.m. You can see that at 1:30 p.m. there was a reaction on the market. When I told you that when the news is negative, that means it's going to be for sell. You can see that there was a selling reaction. This is a possible sell. That is, any news that come out in this order means that it's going to go for a short any US based currency pair. And we just check a US currency based pair now, that the news go in that direction. Let's check another US based currency pair, US Canadian. So 1:30, this 1:30. So you can see that everything went on the same direction. US chef 1:30. You can see that everything fall in line because the news that came up at that particular time was against the US based currency. So let me look for another US based currency. So that you can really understand what I'm saying here. So this shelf, let me check this. I don't trade it, but let's check it. So that's okay. So I can't have more than that. So let me check. Let me just have a look at it. Yeah. So I think you understand what I'm just trying to say here, because I already have up to 30 pair here, so I can't have more than 30 pair. So you cannot add any other currency pair except I delete some. So I think you understand what I mean by this. So let's go back to Forex Factory. Let's go back there. So this is another news, 1:30 p.m. and 2:15 p.m. So for US base, so there was a green button here. So the news went for a short green because it's yellow. So as why we have to care about this is it's leading indicator to economy health, and production reacts quickly to up and down in the business cycle, and this is correlated with consumer condition as employment level and ends. So these are the reasons why we have to care about this. So though it's not high impact, but it shows a significant change that this is greater than the forecast. So let's check the reaction on our currency pair. So you can see that there was a reaction here. That's 215. The market actually moved downward, but you can see that it goes back to the upward side here because of this particular news that came up here. So that was the reason why the market reacts back to its former level, because there was a reaction. Now let's check yesterday if there is any news, so that you can do another explanation of this what I'm explaining here. So this is a US based currency and has a high impact. This -6, but it's green. So let's check the impact. This Empire State Manufacturing Index. So let's check news around this time yesterday. This 1:30 p.m. news on US based currency. 1:30 yesterday. Yesterday is Monday on the 17th. So 1:30 p.m. 1:30 p.m. You can see what I've just explained here. This 1:30. So it's 1:30. That was a little bit movement to the upward side here. That yesterday, there was a little bit movement here, though there was a counter rejection. There was rejection of price there, but the market actually reacts to that particular area on the chart. So you can see there was a reaction here as well. So let's check another currency, US based currency. 1:30 p.m. yesterday. 1:30 p.m. yesterday. So this you can see that it wants up both side. So as you trade any currency pair, you have to make sure that you check the likely events that is going to occur for that particular day, so that you will not be trapped like this. Now this was as a result of a news. Let's go and check on the 12th of June, 1:30 p.m. So let's check so that we round it up from here. So let's check the news that come up on the 12th. 1:30 p.m. This 1:30, you can see there is high impact news here. There is high impact news at that time. You can see the news was on negative, which is red. It's not negative, but it's in color red. So anytime you see color red on the chart, just know that you are going for a sell. Just know that it's going to be for sell. So this consumer purchasing index news, so this P also price index news. So you can see that there was a reaction. So because this particular news was coming and is going to determine the price of consumer, so, and it's a very major news in forex. So consumer price account for a major of overall inflation rate in the country. So inflation is important to currency valuation, because rising price lead the central bank to raise interest rates out of respect for their inflation, so that there will not be more inflation in the country. So central bank use these tools to control the inflation rates in a particular country. So you can see that the effect of this is that the actual is less than the forecast. So, and the forecast is 0.3%, so what come out is 0.2%. So there is going to be a major reaction on that. So this is less than. So when it is less than, that means it's going to go for sell, and if it is greater than, it's good for the currency pair. So the same news also happened here as well. That time you have series of changes. It moved from 0 points to 3.3%, and the forecast was 3.4. So there was a reduction in the price of that particular currency pair. So let's check another event that happened again before we round it up here. This 7:30 p.m. So this does not have any color, so it shows the news may not likely have any impact. So let's go and check our chart. So let's check our chart for that day on the 12th of June. 12th June. On the 12th June. June. This is the news that happened 1:30. Let's check the one of 7:30. You can see that news that came up by 7 o'clock actually changed the direction of the market. So this is the US news that came up that time when FOMC press. This is Federal Reserve news. So the Federal Reserve news when the governor of central bank in US, they call it Central Reserve Bank or Reserve committee. So when he speak on the economy of that particular country, so it's among the primary method that the Fed used to communicate with investors regarding the monetary policy. So it's cover in details the factor that affect the most recent interest rate and other policy decision, along with commentary about economic conditions such as the futures growth outlook and the inflation. So most likely it provides clue including future monetary policy. So that's the reason why the news has a high impact. So anytime you see such news coming up from it's going to have a high impact. And also another one is employment claim. This unemployment claim. So like this particular US news that happened on the 13th of this month also is in negative, so it's going to have high impact in the economy because it's going to show the number of people that are unemployed. So the number of people that file for unemployment insurance in US, so it's going to have high impact in the economy of that particular currency pair, which is the US based currency. So they call it jobless claim, or we can call it initial claim. So they are very good news that one have to take note of. That's on the 13th of this month. Let's check on the 13th, 1:30 p.m. So let's check the action of the market on US based currency on the 13th, 1:30 p.m. and see that it has impact. So the market was moved from here down to this particular place, though it was also reversed back. So this is an example of an hammer, though some people may say it's not hammer, but this an hammer. So it shows that the buyer may likely take control of this particular trade. So you can see from here also that the buyer take control of this trade, take it up down to this particular level. So there are other major news that may likely occur, but before you start the week, you have to check the news that may likely occur for that particular week. So you can shovel around to know which one is going to be high impact news. So you shuffle around the events that may likely happen. So like take for instance this particular trade now, we can see that we have a high impact news coming from this week. We have this, and we have another one, this. So Wednesday we have another impact news by 7 a.m. tomorrow, which is the price consumer price index news coming from GBP. So any GBP currency pair around that time tomorrow, there may likely be reaction. This is the forecast. This the previous data that came up that time. So we are expecting what is going to come out tomorrow on this trade. So the same tomorrow New Zealand news is coming up by 11:45 p.m. This is GDP related news. So it's a data that relates with the GDP of the country. And don't forget, GDP means gross domestic products of a particular country. So another news on Thursday, high impact news. This is from Chef. This Swiss franc currency. So you can see the news coming out and it relates to interest rate. So it may likely have high impact on their currency pair. So on Thursday again, we have another high impact news. And likewise on Friday there's going to be a jamboree of news coming out on Friday. So these are the news that is going to come out on Friday this week. By 7 a.m. GBP is going to release data on retail sales. By the same Friday there's going to be impact on euros pair, euro currency pair, and they have high impact news. And by 2 p.m. 2:45 p.m. there's going to be a PMI. This purchasing manufacturing index, so manager index, so you can call it manager or manufacturing index. So it's going to have impacts on the economy on Friday. So thank you once again for another day, another time. I want to urge you to please don't just watch my content, subscribe to my channel. By tomorrow we are going to do our analysis on this particular currency pair, USD/JPY. So let's check before I call it a day. Is there any news coming up from this pair tomorrow, Wednesday? So there is no major news coming from US based currency because there is holiday. There is holiday tomorrow in US. Let me check the holiday. So the market is going to have low liquid volatility tomorrow. US bank will close in observance of June net. Okay, so tomorrow there is going to be low volatility in the market because of the holiday in US. So it's going to be low volatility. That's why there is no news coming from that end. So thank you very much for your time today. I really appreciate your time. See you and talk to you soon.